Erase the inner verdict before the day erases you. If the first thing you do is check your phone, you just handed your identity to whatever shows up on the screen. The old you is the one that bargains with fear and hides inside comfort. That version cannot be repaired. It has to be erased. You sit on the edge of the bed, thumb hovering over notifications, and you hear it say, "Be safe, keep it easy." You answer out loud, "Not today." Here is the contract. 6 morning words, said once, every day. Each word rebuilds you from the inside. So approval stops steering and fear stops negotiating. Feet on the floor. Phone stays face down. Say the 6 words out loud. Then earn one small proof action. That contract you just made only works if identity is something you enforce, not something you feel. Those 6 words are not a mood boost. They are a border policy. Most people wake up and live under foreign rule, social approval, convenience, other people's expectations, a bad night's sleep, a single text. They call it personality. But it is usually dependency with better branding. That is why one rough morning can rewrite who you are by noon. Stoic sovereignty is simpler. You control your judgments, your choices, and your effort. Everything else is external, not meaningless, just not allowed to define you. The goal is not confidence. The goal is to be hard to invade. An inner citadel that cannot be purchased, baited, shamed, or negotiated out of its values. This can feel awkward at first, like you are being too intense before coffee. That discomfort is a sign you stopped outsourcing. These 6 words are commands, and the first one starts with deletion. Word number 1, I erase. Erase the inner verdict before it starts running your day. The fastest way to stay weak is to keep waking up and sentencing yourself with yesterday. You are half awake, thumb scrolling, and the first thought lands like a stamp. I already messed up. I am just not disciplined. You set the phone face down and say, "That sentence is illegal now." Another voice pushes back. "But it is true. Look at your track record." You answer, "Track record is data, not identity." It asks, "So what are you then?" You say, "Someone who chooses again. I erase." This is not positive thinking. It is clean thinking. The weak self survives by turning past events into permanent labels. Lazy, anxious, broken, behind. Not that kind of person. Those words feel honest because they are familiar. But familiar is not the same as true. Stoicism separates data from destiny. The past is a reference point, not a verdict. You can study what happened without living inside it. And that is where the control comes back. It can feel awkward to talk to yourself like this before coffee. Almost theatrical. But the alternative is letting your old script speak first. So you use one line. Every morning. No debate. That is a past report, not a life sentence. I erase the label and choose the next action. Then you prove it with something small and real. 2 minutes of work. 1 page. 10 slow reps. 1 honest message you have been avoiding. Keep a simple tally today. Every time you catch a limiting I am, mark it. Then convert it once. I am lazy becomes, I avoided effort yesterday. Today, I do 2 minutes. More catches. Fewer labels believed. Once you erase the labels, the next threat shows up fast. You will try to borrow a crowd to tell you who you are. So the next word is about walking alone. Word number 2, I walk alone. Solitude is power when you stop treating other people's reactions like instructions. Solitude is power because it is the one place you can hear your own rules without the crowd talking over them. You are at work and someone leans on your desk. Are you coming out tonight? Everyone is going. You say, not tonight. They smirk. What, too good for us? You feel the little spike in your chest. The urge to explain, to soften, to perform likability. That moment is the test. You answer, no, I am protecting my morning. Walking alone does not mean you hate people. It means you stop outsourcing your decisions to them. The weak self rents its identity from whoever is nearby. It dresses for compliments. It says yes to avoid a weird silence. It posts to be seen. It agrees to be safe. That is not connection. That is dependency wearing a friendly face. So you build a private spine. You choose 1 hour that belongs to you. You do not announce it. You do not defend it. You do not ask permission. You just keep it. This can feel awkward at first, like you are breaking an unspoken social contract. But that discomfort is the muscle growing. Use one line when the pressure shows up. I do not need witnesses to make the right choice. Then prove it with a small, clean decision made in private. Go for the walk without telling anyone. Turn down the invite without a story. Wear the plain outfit you like even if nobody notices. At the end of the day, write one sentence. One decision I made with no audience was blank. When you stop performing for people, you will feel exposed, because you are about to meet what is underneath the performance. Word number 3, I am essence. Identity as verbs is what remains when the audience disappears. If solitude is power, this is what you use that power for. You are at a casual dinner and someone asks, so what do you do? Old you answers with a job title, like it is a passport. New you pauses, because it feels slightly awkward to not play the usual game. Then you say, I build. I keep promises. I tell the truth. That is me. That moment matters because most of the fear in your life is attached to labels. Lose the title and you feel smaller. Lose approval and you feel exposed. Stoicism cuts through that by pulling you back to the rational core that existed before social conditioning wrote your script. Not a new personality, a cleaner one. So you stop describing yourself as a noun. Nouns turn brittle. Nouns invite comparison. Verbs stay alive. Verbs can be practiced on a bad day, and they point to what you can control, which is the only stable foundation. Use one sentence when you feel yourself clinging to status. Take away my status. My essence stays judgment. Effort. Character. Say it like you mean it. Then act like it is true for one small decision. Build your essence list today. 3 verbs. Not nouns. Practice. Build. Serve. Or choose your own. Review them each morning before the world hands you a role to play. If a choice does not match your verbs, it is not your choice. Now you have a core. Next comes the test. Life will hit you anyway. So we decide what pain means. Word number 4. I love fate. Amor Fati workout starts when life hits your new core and you do not flinch. If identity as verbs is real, then pressure is where it proves itself. A text pops up from a client. We are going with someone else. Old you feels the familiar drop and reaches for a story. This always happens. I am cursed. That story is comforting because it explains everything and asks nothing of you. Then you catch it and replace it with a harder line. Good. This is training. Show me where I am soft. That is Amor Fati, not passive acceptance, not pretending you like pain. It is using reality as fuel instead of evidence against yourself. You treat obstacles like a training partner built for your exact weak spot. Rejection trains courage. Delay trains patience. Confusion trains clarity. Loss trains perspective. When you frame it that way, the moment stops being personal and starts being useful. It can feel unnatural to say good when something goes wrong. Your brain will call it fake. The test is not whether it feels natural. The test is whether it makes you act with more precision. Use one line to flip the switch. This is the workout designed for my weak spot. Perfect. Then, ask one training question before you react. What virtue is required here? Wisdom to see facts. Courage to face discomfort. Temperance to stop spiraling. Justice to stay fair. Track your reframe speed. How fast can you turn a setback into that question? 1 breath is a win. 10 minutes is progress. An hour is still better than never. If fate is fuel, you still need a fortress, because pressure will try to invade your inner world. Word number 5. I am sovereign. Inner Citadel boundary means you stop letting other people's weather become your climate. If fate is fuel, this is the container that keeps it from turning into chaos. Your partner looks over and says, "Why are you being so quiet?" You feel the pull to fix their discomfort, to perform warmth, to rush into explanations. Instead you say, "Because I am not giving my peace away for free." They push back. "So you are shutting me out?" You answer, "No, I am choosing my response." That is sovereignty. Not coldness, not control, just ownership. The inner citadel is your jurisdiction. Nothing gets in unless you grant permission, especially moods, pressure, and the emotional noise of the room. People can bring the storm. They do not get to move furniture inside your mind. This can feel tense at first, like you are standing still while someone expects a reaction. Your body wants to argue or apologize just to end the moment. That is the old habit. Sovereignty is staying present without surrendering your steering wheel. Use one line to hold the border. You can bring the weather. You cannot enter the citadel. Then do the smallest boundary action you can actually keep. Pause before replying. Ask for 10 minutes. Say no once without adding a story. Put the phone down when the conversation turns into a spiral. Keep score tonight. Boundary kept score. 0 if you folded. 1 if you held once. 2 if you held twice or more. Small boundaries count because they build the muscle. Sovereignty without a moral compass turns into ego. And the final word prevents that. Word number 6, I am virtue. Excellence of effort is the last lock on the inner citadel boundary. Without it, sovereignty turns into ego and fate turns into excuses. Your boss says, "We did not hit the target." Old you feels the heat and grabs a label. "I am a failure." New you pauses, because the silence is uncomfortable and everyone wants a reaction. Then you ask one clean question. Did I act with excellence of effort? If the answer is yes, you are intact. If the answer is no, you have work to do. Either way, you stop begging outcomes to decide your worth. This is the Stoic trade. You give up control of results in exchange for control of character. Money, praise, status, and winning are externals. Useful, sometimes enjoyable, sometimes painful, but not the source of identity. If you attach your value to externals, you can be robbed by any bad week. If you attach it to virtue, nobody can take it from you. Virtue is not abstract here. It is the daily practice of wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice inside ordinary moments. Wisdom is seeing facts without drama. Courage is doing the hard thing anyway. Temperance is refusing the easy escape. Justice is being fair when you are stressed. Use one line to reset your scoreboard. I measure success by excellence of effort. Today that is enough. Then create a receipt so your mind cannot lie later. Tonight, write one sentence. Today, I practiced blank when blank. Courage when I told the truth. Temperance when I closed the laptop. Justice when I did not lash out. Wisdom when I asked what matters. Now the objection. People will call this cold, selfish, or too intense. Let us kill that myth cleanly. People will hear excellence of effort and call it toxic independence. They will say you are cutting people off, going cold, acting too intense. Like you want to live on an island. That is a misunderstanding that keeps people dependent. Sovereignty is not isolation. It is ownership. You can love people, help people, and still refuse to outsource your identity to them. The point is not, I need nobody. The point is, I will not betray my character to keep approval. Someone is upset and tries to pull you into a spiral. Old you rushes in to fix it just to calm the room. New you stays steady, listens, and responds without surrendering your values. That is not cruelty. That is stability. If your peace depends on other people behaving nicely, you are not peaceful. You are controlled. The sovereign self does not become unfeeling. It becomes less reactive, more consistent, and more reliable under pressure. That stability looks simple until you notice how often you perform it. You are in a meeting, smiling and nodding, trying to look unbothered while your stomach tightens and you say yes to something you hate. Later, you realize you were negotiating with fear for approval. The next morning you run the 6 words. Leave your phone face down and make one small sovereign choice. A clean no. No explanation. No audience. Then you track it for 7 days. The Inner Citadel reset is 7 days. Simple and strict. Before your phone, say the 6 words once out loud. Then earn 1 proof action in 2 minutes. It feels almost silly, like it cannot matter. And that is the point. You are training follow-through, not hype. Send the hard email. Take the short walk. Do 10 slow reps. Write your 3 verbs. Hold 1 small boundary. At night, track 4 numbers so you cannot lie to yourself. Sovereignty score 0 to 10. Did I lead myself today? 1 promise kept. Yes or no. Label catch count. Boundary kept score 0 to 2. Small counts still count. Comment your 6 words in 1 line. No explanation. Just the contract. If you want the next build, subscribe for the conversation protocol. How to stay sovereign when someone baits you, shames you, or tries to pressure you into a quick yes. That is where most people lose the citadel. Tomorrow morning, keep it clean. Phone face down, feet on the floor. Say the words once, then prove 1 action.